When you travel a lot, the most difficult part is not to give in to stereotypes about the country you are going to. I finally reached India. And first of all, I don't want to see its touristy beaches. Secondly, I'm not going to search for enlightenment in Brahma to save me from practicing yoga. Thirdly, the story about Mowgli is also not about me, even though there are more than enough animals there. And I'm not even interested in Bollywood. You'll ask me why I've come here? You'll understand in a moment. I continue studying the symbiotic phenomenon between people and animals, and here I'll probably find its most festive manifestation. There are annual events in the Indian state. Rajasthan, which attracts thousands of people, it's the Camel Fair. Here I'll meet people who devote their whole life to camels, and maybe I'll even buy one. My name is Konstantin Bishevoy, and you are watching the program of Animals and People. The event traditionally starts in the beginning of November, 5 days before the full moon. This day is called Kartik Purnima. According to the legend, God, the creator of the universe, sent a swan with lotus on this very full moon, so that it would mark a holy place. Where the bird dropped the flower, Lake Pushkar was formed, and the name of the pilgrimage city for Hindus. The name is translated from Sanskrit as a blue lotus flower. It sounds unbelievably beautiful, but doesn't look that magnificent. However, it's loud, cheerful, and lively. It's not so easy to find camels at this fair. It's only called the Camel Fair, but it's so big that I've started to wander a bit. So far, I've only found the Indian circus and some other amusements, but I'm sure the camel shouldn't be far away. Am I right? I'm not sure about 11,000 camels, but the promised 400,000 people are already here without a doubt. I'm actually astonished by Indians who invite tourists to come here, as if there weren't enough locals. For your information, this is both a religious and a zootechnical event at the same time. Initially, people came here to perform ablutions in the lake, and then probably they decided to organize the fair as well. I guess we used to have fairs near monasteries on holy days. Well, it's known that there are two fools in every market. I have a tradition to do some... No. Stop. Can you see what this guy has just done to me with henna? A sign. Now I don't know how I'll walk with this. These paintings, Mendi, have a very important meaning. I've been explained, though, it's hard to understand anything with this noise, that it's a very useful ornament for men's potency. But it's still hard for me to stop thinking that these ornaments on hands are for women. Okay, let's dress me up fully. Yes, and let's put a dress on me. Of course, and earrings, and something for the nose. How can I offend these fellows? It's clear that they are not rich at all. $1 for them is much money. But these are all traditional amusements. It's mainly a place for camel breeders who sell their animals, boast of their breeding, who has more milk yield, and whose camels are more resilient. It's like in the subway in a rush hour. Where the crowd moves, you move, and where it is moving is not clear at all. I need to follow someone local. Maybe they'll lead me to it. I honestly want to say that the Pushkar Fair is not for the faint-hearted. These observation wheels are controlled from here. Look, it's impossible. Oh, you probably know people who don't eat meat, take care of their karma, paint mandalas, burn incense sticks, and always mention this cradle of civilization. If only we could bring them here to, so to say, absorb the real spirit of India. I understand why Indians have a philosophical attitude to death. After such amusements, you won't only have a philosophical attitude. Good grief! This is the principal fair in Rajasthan. A nightmare! I've never seen this side of India. Hello. It's just hell. There are also some incredible competitions. For example, the Mustache Competition, the only one in India, and it also only takes place once a year at this particular fair. This charming gentleman clearly has all the chances to win. I have such a small mustache. I don't have one. I probably won't have time to look at all the peculiar mustaches, which will be shown here. A pity though, a mustache in India is more than just a mustache. Here, for instance, people swear by saying, "cross my mustache." Or when someone becomes a boss, it is said he raised his mustache up. Mustache is both a religious and caste-ridden attribute. It's very good here. Interesting. You know, we like it here. You know, I'm actually enjoying it here. Interesting. Do you like it? You see, I've already found a common language with the people. How nice these people are. You see here? That's how we spend our time here. I tell you, it's another planet. It's as if they lived in another dimension. I'm gonna go nuts here. It's so cool. And the women have led me out of this chaos. Finally, it's quieter and people are busy with usual things. And here is the goal of my journey. Of course, I guess it would be a bit different in India. Not like back at home. But not this different. I'm in 2015, but it seems like 1915. It feels like you've used a time machine and went back 100 years. Nothing changes here, probably. Everything is as it was 100 and probably 200 years ago. It's so cool. And these people cannot imagine their life without camels. It's probably hard to imagine camels without people. I've spent the first day immersing in the local culture. Tomorrow, I'll find my way there easily, avoiding the center of the amusements. I have to say that I won't be able to forget it at all, even if I tried. But it's still worth recording it all. It's hard to spend more than a day on the road. It's very loud. The crowd is enormous. Unbelievable amount of motorcycles, cars, people, all blended together. And also camels. I'm tired today. After acquainting myself with the fair yesterday, in the morning I felt as if I've lived at least half my life here. And foot-tapping Eastern music seems near and dear. And the girls are like pioneers on an excursion. I got my breakfast on the way. And it's all for free. India is a beautiful, friendly country. I usually set myself some tasks for a day. This day won't be any exception. Today, I need to find a teacher, to find an expert who will tell me what to do with camels. And I'll try to acquire some skills. Excellent. But dear travelers, never eat anything on the street in India. It's very dangerous for your stomach. Today, I haven't even tried to go to the center of the fair. And you know, you are no longer stunned by the noise in the crowd, but you can examine the details of this bright, poor, and yet still very friendly city. And I've been very lucky. I haven't missed the living personification of the goddess Prithvi, who represents the earth. And it can be said that she has many arms. It's well known that a cow is the holy animal of India, completely untouchable. And when it also has a third paw growing from its hump, that's super holy. Oh, she's budding. The cow's budding. Very holy. Very holy. Were I at least a little bit Hindu, I'd consider it as a super favorable sign. Naturally, camels are used for moving around the Camel Fair. One can obviously use a tuk-tuk or ride a horse, but it's handier on a camel. It's so high, and I have such a wonderful view. I feel like a Raja. It's a pity my camel isn't exactly royalty. That's because I had asked for permission to mount a usual peasant slogger. I mean, later on, it'll probably be decorated, as are all the camels during the fair. Be washed? Unlikely. Though you know, I've got used to the smells here. For thousands of years, people have existed because of camels. They are the only ones who can carry, feed, and even protect people in the desert. And Rajasthan's 2/3 consist of sands. And the trade? Only because of camels, we in Russia have known about Indian cotton and spices and Chinese silk and China for thousands of years. All this enormous territory of the Middle East, Central Asia, Southern Asia, and the Far East was connected by the paths laid by these undemanding creatures and, of course, by those who rode them. And look, I'm going to a public road on a camel. It's madness! From a camel's back, there are more interesting things to be seen. I've said already that Rajasthan is a land of Varnas and warriors, Tsar's sons. Look, these are Sikhs, people who are destined to be warriors, courageous and implacable. But I'll tell you about these people who call themselves lions another time. And now, everything about camels, irreplaceable helpers of civilians. And finally, I've reached the goal of my journey. To be honest, I'm a bit motion sick because of the camel swaying walk. And I have this unpleasant feeling in my stomach either from the motion or from the breakfast from the lorry. And it seems to me I've exhausted the super resilient camel. It's only in Egypt that you have to pay for dismounting a camel. And here, people seem a lot kinder. And this fair is bigger than I expected.
Hello.
Hello? This respected man's name is Mukhambai. He lives nearby in the village Basilia. He comes from a long line of camel breeders. Though here, Vaishya, it's how his castle is called, have been doing the same craft for centuries. For example, if a person is born in a family of a camel breeder, he, his children, and grandchildren will all work with camels. It's called jati, specialization within a caste, so I couldn't find a better profi. And what do camels eat? Explain to me, what do Indian camels eat? I can show you now. Let's go feed them. Don't be afraid. We come to animals in peace as always. That's what they eat. Is that some kind of silage? Some bran and grass. It doesn't have any smell. And what do these ritual tattoos mean? What do they mean? What is it? Belonging? What does it mean? Just a design. Color design? Design. You see, like a car has VIN, a camel has a special, well, not really a tattoo, some coloring. The hair is shaved in different places to create beautiful ornaments. While Mumbai was decorating the camel so that I could examine his design, I almost came to the conclusion that the animals aren't happy with what's going on. However, after a while I realized that it wasn't true. A big one. It's snuggling this way. It likes to be stroked. It lets people to shear and dye it, and it likes to be decorated. I've been waiting for it too, to spit on my face. Don't be afraid. This one won't. It's stupid and lazy, but it's kind. Just stroke them. It's the best for my children. I'd buy it. Looking at how camel drivers interact with their charges, I understood that there is something more than just trade in this wonderful event, the Camel Fair. And I wanted to decorate Dromedar myself. And Raju, Mahumbai's nephew, allowed me to do it. As we say, you have goods, we have a merchant. And in order to sell a camel for a good price, you need to make it look a certain way. Here we go. The customers have arrived soon after. We've just decorated it, and here they are. You like it? Wanna buy? No. Now I'll add one more profession to my list. Camel groomer. Or camel stylist, if you like. Something is always done for the first time. And a camel also has to be decorated. Do they mean anything? What do these colors mean? These are Rajasthan's favorite colors. Red and yellow and green. And look, the camels look beautiful like that. So people want to buy them. And we color them in black. Behind as well, for a camel to look nice. And then people want to buy it. Camel. Very soft and beautiful. Thanks, Modi. Thanks, Modi. Modi is good. After such a trial, there is no harm in drinking real Indian tea with my new friends. And to talk about life, of course.
You working with camels?
Have you been working with camels since childhood?
Years, yes.
Sometimes it's difficult, but when I see other people, you know, poor people, I think sometimes that I'm a happy man. I have... You have a job. Yes, I have a job. I've seen so many people who work with stone and sand, and they cannot earn enough. And when I see how these people live, I realize what I'm fine. Though it's hard sometimes. But in Rajasthan, there are a lot of poor people. It's one of the poorest states in India. About 60 million people live on the territory, which is almost for sure smaller than Sverdlovsk region. I've never studied in any schools. I've just learned some English. I don't know how I've learned it. It just happened.
You can't read?
Can you read?
No, I can't.
No, I can't. And you know, I really enjoy just sitting and talking to these people who cannot even read, but who work so hard. They save the money to educate their children and dream that the next generation wouldn't have to work as much. Imagine, Raj is just 30 years old, but I understand that I draw him away from his work with my talking. That's why he invited me to come later when it gets dark. Thank you, Raju, for inviting me. I'll try some national Indian food from Rajasthan. Mainly, vegetarians live here, so no meat. So we'll eat vegetables and rice. Well, will you let me try it? It turned out that camel drivers cook complex and tasty meals on an open fire. Potatoes and gumbo are fried in oil with masala and spices. Something is stewed, bread is